Oh, look at this hardware, man. EVINS Got the Latin American camera. Showing it for the camera. Now that's...
They got some trainers say, and some fighters say, well, I don't watch videos of the guy fighting. I let the coach watch it. This, hey, man.
Guys, one thing we know for sure about Wilder, he hit you clean. Right. And this woman whooped the whole world twice. The whole world.
Man, that intro never ever gets old. I love that intro. Well, good morning or good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube. It's another episode of Soapboxing Podcast. It's your boy Manny Fresh, along with who we got today? Big Chief Paleface of the. What's going on, Derek? Got Coach D.
What's happening, man?
Oh man, can't call it. It's another wonderful day we got today, and our guest for the afternoon, we're excited to have EVINS TOBLER, strength and conditioning coach of the Superstars, the champions. Man, what's going on, my man? Good afternoon.
Right out the gate.
All right, man. Well, we're gonna let y'all know we might have moments where we get frozen or there's some lag, but we're gonna work through it. I know it's the first time that it's probably ever happened on the show, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try and figure it out.
My man, Evan flew to Auschwitz, Germany yesterday, so we got a lag issue. Let's see.
Yeah, I think he's been training. He's been training in the underground camps.
Yeah, man.
So we'll see, man. But we want to take a moment and just thank everyone for the support that you've been giving the show. The YouTube channel has been growing at a rapid pace, and we can't tell you enough how grateful we are. We appreciate it, and we want to ask you guys to keep supporting, keep subscribing. Tell your friends about it. Tell your family. Share our stuff. Get yourself in position for the $1 million giveaway that Coach Derek's going to be giving out at the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't want no money, man. I just give that shit out to me.
As fast as it comes in, we give it out.
Yeah. Evan, you can hear us? I thought he was laughing. Did I hear you laughing?
That was probably me.
Oh, shit.
Well,
all going and off again, bro. See if you get back in. Right. Well, it's the new year, bro.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for the potential fights this year. You and I were sort of talking about some possibilities before we went on air, and
yeah, what you think, man?
We got some good options out there. Let me shit. What happened to it? Oh darn. There's a bunch that I like. I like a potential Canelo Charlo fight. We'll see if that fight is presented to Charlo and if he'll take it. It'd be a great fight. What would they fight at? 168? 165?
Yeah, Canelo could make 60, but he's the draw, so he'll probably make him come up to 68.
Yeah.
But big Charlo Jamal, I'm sure he could be 168 like it ain't shit. And still go. That's a big boy, man. Jamal's a big boy too. I know they twins, but Jamal's bigger, man. I don't know how that happened, but that's Jamal's bigger, man.
You ain't never seen twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito? It happens all the time.
Oh man, but Jamal's the undisputed though, so I ain't gonna put the midget on him. Shit, he's the one with the straps. I like that. Canelo wins that fight. I'm going after I like 54. I think Canelo wins that fight, but I can't root against anybody from Houston. So I'm gonna be fucking hoping he pulls out a Macra or a Miracle. And
I think it'll be.
54.
I think it'll be an exciting fight. I think you'll.
Yeah,
I think
because
there'll be a lot of energy, a lot of going back and forth.
Jamal ain't gonna crawfish. He's going forward. He got a punch going forward. So and he's always in condition. So I mean, he's so much bigger than Canelo. So the odds shouldn't be more than 2-1. But I just, the boxing generalship is over there on the other side of the ring. So damn near Jamal needs to rough him up, try to grab him and throw him in the corner. He can't get caught up trying to box. And then when boxing ain't working because he's a better boxer, you try to look for space. See, that's Smith kid, bro. That Smith kid fights exactly like Jamal, just like him. Just in the middle of their hips. They got to step on every jab, all that shit. So you got to do the same thing. So when you stepping, but you walking in the shots, and you ain't landing shit, but then just because of how you fight, you find yourself backing up looking for space. Was you there when Regis let Mike get in the ring with him?
No, I was there when Dominic got in the ring with him.
Okay, after that, Mike got in the ring. So Mike is in the middle of his hips, man. And so just Regis, and it wasn't like they was going hard or nothing. He was working out, trying to stay sharp. Just Regis coming forward makes them go backwards, and they can't go backwards because they need a step and punch. Right. So when they go backwards, ain't nothing on them shots. Even if they throw the shots, ain't nothing on them shots. So you think Canelo's gonna let Callum Smith come forward, and he was 6'4"? You think Canelo's gonna let Jamel come forward? He's about 6'1". Who's
stronger though? Who's gonna win that battle of going forward?
Canelo.
Really?
But not because of strength.
Right? Okay, right.
Yeah, not because of strength. Because I would definitely say Jamal got to be the bigger, stronger guy.
Right.
But like that's my point. I'm using that Canelo fight as an example, and there's many of them. Rocky Field, there's many big giants. Canelo don't get no problems to. So what he does is waist work, feints, jabs, makes you miss, and inches up. Listen, man, let me get a secret away. The reason why I love Canelo so much is because he boxes like my family is boxing. You know that. You know that Canelo don't fight in the middle. He inches up, he adjusts his feet.
Right.
In order to slip and have something. Boom. It's all about, but he's always in position to punch. Canelo can go backwards. Boom. He's in position to punch. When these boys learn to put their fucking weight in the middle of their feet, bro, and step punch, when the other guy don't let you step punch, and it doesn't got to be because he's punching you back. It's just movement, right? It's just him knowing what you're doing. So Canelo boxes his feet, and then Canelo's so small, he uses that pull, that waist work, but he always gives you something. Because if I don't give you nothing, you'll keep coming.
Yeah.
I got to make you miss and give you a power shot. And like he did with Canelo Smith, he don't give a fuck where he hits you. The arm, the hip, the arm, the chest.
The arm was strategic.
Oh, absolutely.
You wanted to take that power from him.
And you boxing how long before you was taught that? Any target that's giving you a problem, you target it, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's real boxing. That's pugilism. That's old school. I don't know how Eddie Reynoso knows that shit. I don't know. But he knows it. And he done taught this young fella. So what Canelo's doing in the ring when he's not fighting is great. So when he's fighting and he be able to beat these, listen, you don't gotta like Canelo and all that shit. It doesn't matter. Let me hear your criticisms of his boxing, then I'll know if that person knows what they're talking about. And 9 times out of 10, motherfuckers fuck Canelo, and then you go, why? Oh, he can't move. He got what was the thing at first? He got cement shoes and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck are y'all watching? Watch this kid. He can go anywhere he wants. He go left, he go right, go back, go forward. So they kind of tell on themselves because you could appreciate Canelo's boxing and not be a fan. That's easy, right? Just fuck that dude, man. He can fight. But more often than not, it's fuck that dude. He ain't even good. Who he fought and all this shit. Meanwhile, the nigga done fought a laundry list of fucking people, bro. That shit is stupid, man. A lot of people don't know what they're looking at, man. When that kid's in there, it's shit spectacular. And we was ringside for the Smith fight. It was me, Miss Ross, Danger, and Quentin. First round, before the round ended, I looked at Danger, and Danger said, "He it's done already." I said, "Yeah, it's done. It's just a matter of time." I seen that the long guy had no clue how to use that shit, and if he wasn't set, and if he couldn't step, he couldn't punch. So Canelo took the step from him. I'm gonna crowd his step. Now what you gonna do? Back up and constantly look for space, constantly. And that's gonna be the problem with Twin when he gets in there with Canelo. It's the same fucking thing, man. Now, can he knock him out? Yeah, them big boys can knock anybody out. Anything over 135 pounds can knock any man out if they land on the button. And the bigger and stronger you are, they even more spectacular than knockout. So people tell on themselves about what they watching and what they don't see as opposed to what they do see. And so a lot of times when a lot of criticisms on fighters in ring criticism, when they criticism, I say, well, what you don't like? And they tell on themselves out the gate, so they go right into the don't know shit column in my brain. You don't know shit, man. I ain't even worried about what you saying for this fight. Let's go.
I don't like redheads. That's why I don't like. Nah, I'm just fucking. All right. Well, Evans is back on the show. What's going on, Mr. Tobler?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
Man, all right.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, your gal came got you straight up. She done did something, huh? Or you figured it out? Evans, you hear me?
Can you hear? Can you hear Derek?
I can't hear Derek.
Oh shit!
I'm the fucking star. If you can't hear me, the show ain't shit.
Yeah.
1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000%.
We cook from the same cloth.
Oh man, how did we fix this the last time? There was where we can drop. Take off.
Let me go back out and in and see if it catches. Y'all don't move.
Wait a minute. Are you Instagramming or no?
I'm on Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, no, you're fine. Derek, don't come on with the earphones and see if that works.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. All right, let Derek come back in, man. What, everyone? It is a pleasure to have Coach Evans here. We're gonna go over your story. I'm excited to talk to you about your career, about it all, how it all started. But we'll give Derek a chance to get back in here. How's your morning been so far?
Pretty good, man. You know, starting out the day with some Saturday morning runs. Most of the boxes we run on Saturdays. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning, man. All about boxing conditioning.
That's what's up, man. What time does your day usually end?
8, 9. 8, 9, depends.
All right. We got Derek back. Derek, say something.
Y'all can hear me?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there we go. All right. You can hear him, Evans?
I hear him.
All right, perfect.
What's up?
All right, we'll roll with.
Hey, hold on. I'm ready. Let's go.
I see you.
All right, man.
What's going on, brother?
I'm good, man. I just left the gym. You know,
I know you
getting it in.
I know you did, man. You working everybody out on Saturday too, bro.
Yeah. I love Saturday mornings, man.
That That man that fucked up my Saturday morning about 2 years ago with this bullshit.
Oh, really?
About time.
I like doing the shows in the evening. He likes to wake up early.
Oh,
Hey man,
yeah,
but
I'm early too, man. I get up early. I've been doing that since I was 12.
That's
hey man,
right.
hey, I'm really excited to have you on the show. I have a lot of questions. I'm excited to hear your story. I seen you on an interview where you said something to me that was profound, and right there and then I knew, man, this guy, this kind of energy that I like, and the type of people that I like to be around. You said my want was a lot stronger than my talent.
Mm-hmm.
How did that mentality come about in your career? Because you played football in high school, right? You played football, you did track,
Yeah.
and then all that. You started us off from there, and how you went to college.
Well, I was the kid who started out running like B and C races, and deep inside of me, I always felt that I could beat everybody, and I wasn't beating everybody. And the coach, my high school, and my high school coach would always tell me, he's like, man, you just got to keep working. You got more, you got more want than talent. I said, what does that mean? He said, you got more want than talent, son. I said, so what you saying, coach? He says, you're not ready yet. I said, no, I'm ready right now. He said, well, you just lost. You just got the fourth in the race. I said, well, maybe next time I get it. He said, okay, well, you got more want than talent. I said, you know what? I'm going to prove your ass wrong. So I was the kid who went from one summer from being the fourth and fifth placer in anything I did in track, and I worked doing it. I said, so what do I have to do? I said, coach, so what do I have to do to like make my talent come to the whatever you're talking about? He's like, you got to keep working, son. I said, I'm working. He says, your want and talent they have not met up yet. I said, this is gonna drive me fucking nuts, bro. I said, for the life, I didn't understand what he was saying. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna run every morning. I got up every morning going into my freshman year. And back then, you couldn't compete in high school sports because we had a middle school, 5 middle schools in New Jersey, and they had city championships. So if you wasn't the best in the city, you couldn't play high school sports. So my goal was to be city champion, and I had to sit in my mind about my want is more than my talent. I'm thinking I got the talent, shit. So the want was how much work was I willing to put in, right? I had the talent, but the work ethic was more than, because if he told me to run the hurdles, I stumbled over the hurdles. I fight to get the technique down. When you run on a hurdle, you think you're going to hit the nuts on a hurdle. So I always jumped too high and was afraid to do that. And so going into my 9th grade year, man, I worked my ass off that summer, and I started winning races. And I went from the 4th place to the 1st place. And I still was trying to figure out what he was saying. He's like, son, your want has to catch up with your talent. He kept saying that shit over and over and over again. So my freshman year, I said, I'm going to state. I said, I'm going to win state. He's like, you're going to go to state, son, but your want has not caught up with your talent. I said, this man is telling, I'm a freshman, going to this New Jersey State Championships in track and field, and this motherfucker telling me I'm not ready.
You're going to lose. You're going to lose, right?
Yeah. So I went, got my ass kicked. I said, how these dudes beating me? I said, the skinny guy over here, the fucking dude over here, how they beat me? Coach is like, They got the meat, son. I was like, fucking anyway. So I kept working and working. I went my 10th, I went 9th grade year, 10th grade year, 11th grade, and I got my ass kicked for 3 years. Finally, when I was a senior, I go to the state championship and I win that shit. And coach is like, now they caught up. He says, you won't lose another long jump. I was state champion in the long jump, county champion in the long jump, top 5 in the country, all American. I had everything, and he finally said they met. And at that moment, I knew I understood what he was saying. 3 years down the line. So when I get a fighter, they say, "Oh man, you know you're at a high level. You're at a high level of training right now. You should take on every fighter that comes your way." I said, "Tell you what, in my book, you give me a fighter who has this much talent and that much want. The want has to outweigh. If the fighter has more talent than want, I don't really want to deal with it.
Fresh.
I'm going to take a kid that wants to work with a little bit of talent, and I promise you, he or she end up being champion."
Fresh. Translate that to us.
Okay. Okay. Here we
Character
are.
and integrity.
He might, yeah. He might get mad, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Like Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis had more want than talent. That motherfucker right there is gonna work, and he's gonna work, and he's gonna work. And if you look at his amateur career, it does not match up to what he's done as a professional. But here we are, going to win another world championship real soon. The kid will work his ass off. I give him anything to do. I mean, I got all kinds of crazy shit in my head. I try to break him, and he keep rising. He keep rising. So I mean, he's a perfect example. I can't use and we match because I was him. I was that kid. I was that kid who wanted it.
You know, I own the boxing gym here in Katy, and I call it the grind. We named it the grind because for me, the grind it's all about doing the work and doing it over and over and over and over until you do it right. But I was in high school, and I think it was my sophomore year, and I was on the varsity team, of the soccer varsity team, and our forward. I don't remember if he got injured or he couldn't. He got suspended or academically or whatever it was, but he wasn't playing. And we were playing against.
You hear that popping?
Yeah, let me see what it is.
I think it's you, bro. It's only going when you talk. Maybe your earphones need to come on. Try it and see.
Let me see.
It went away. It's back.
Is it off?
Nah.
Static?
It's your earphones, I bet.
Oh.
Pull them shits out, man.
The earphones are comfortable.
What about now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's popping when you talk.
It's still popping?
You hear that popping ever?
I just hear some static, a little static.
Yeah, it's popping.
All right. Well, I'll fix it for the next show because
you can't take the headphones off?
No, because then I won't be able to hear you.
Why? Don't talk out loud like the phone? Oh, you're on the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's popping like a motherfucker, man.
Did it just start too?
No, it was popping, but I didn't know who it was. But when we was letting Evans talk, it wasn't popping. So when you started, it started popping. I mean, I ain't gonna be able to grab them clips like I want.
Unbelievable.
All right, go ahead. It stopped for a second. All right. He called it Evans. He called it the grind gym because constant something wasn't gonna work, right? We couldn't say it.
But I want to let me finish this story. Fuck, we're gonna have to work.
Look, no pop whatsoever. Hopefully he come back on and it's right.
Yeah. What do you do? Take the headphones off?
Yeah, I think, but he's on the laptop so we can work the program. Me and you just come on our phone, but he got to work the program so we upload it to YouTube and shit at the same time.
Oh, okay.
We freestyling this shit, bro.
Huh?
I said we freestyling this shit.
Hey, that's how you do it. That's off the gut, man. There ain't no script.
I've been a fan. You good, man?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's still popping?
A little bit.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right, so we were up against our rivals, right? The Florida was gone. It was a huge game, and it had playoff implications. My whole family was there. My uncle was there. The coach comes up to me right before the game, right before we're about to go take the field, and he goes, "Whether we win or lose this game today is solely on you." And then he said, I also need you to play forward. Now, I was a midfielder. That was my position. And playing forward is a totally different position. They had a defender playing me. I had 3 opportunities to score a goal. That defender outran me every single time and took the ball away from me. We lost that game 1-0. And I remember walking off the field, and I remember thinking, man, how did that happen? I couldn't figure it out. And from that moment on, my whole mentality was, I want the ball in my hand. If I'm going to win or lose at anything, it's going to have to be by my own doing. And when you say that your want has to be greater than your talent, I've never had any real fucking talent. It's always been my desire to be good or great at anything that I do. Mm-hmm. And so when I heard that you said that it resonated with me. And I remember that day. I remember that day and that game and how I felt and how that was a turning point and how I looked at competitiveness and anything really in life. But to bring us up to speed, I also heard, and it all ties together, someone asked you, well, what kind of credentials do you have, or what kind of training do you have to do what you do? And your answer was, I've been doing this my whole life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So tell us about that. Because you served in the Army, right?
Say that again.
You served in the service?
No. But my coaches, you know, I had the coaches who understood that I had the talent, but you know, there's some technical things that I had to do to get that, and I had to have that desire to get better, and I struggled with that, like I said earlier, to figure out what they were trying to ask me to do, and that's been my whole entire life as even a track and field athlete. You know, trying to compete with the best in the world. I mean, guys like Carl Lewis, the top runners and top jumpers. And when it comes to boxing and track and field, all the sports that are around today, they are a spinoff of running and jumping. And the only thing when I look at boxing, I see every event in track and field. You're using your arms, you're using your legs, you're breathing, you're learning how to breathe, you're learning how to relax, you have to be explosive. So they'll say, when I got in the game, bro, they're like, oh, you're a track and field dude, what are you gonna do? I said, I'll tell you what I will do. I know biomechanics, because I was an athlete, and the U.S. Olympic Committee would break the jumps down or break it down biomechanically. So I know the movements of the body. I know every fucking jump that you can name. I've done it. And when I look at boxing, and I say that boxing, I believe boxing, there's a lot of stuff that boxing still has to learn, right? Even as it pertains to teaching an athlete the small things like pushing off the back foot when you throw a jab. That's your power. That's your weight, right? And in track and field, when I would long jump, they had at the end of my jump, there's a step to call it the penultimate step. It's like before you make a soccer goal, you know, you make a move, you gather yourself technically, and because you don't just run and kick the ball.
Right.
You if you slow it down, the body stops. And that's the penultimate, which is a step, right? And in boxing, even the world champions, I tell Regis a lot, do the technical things, right? So all of that stuff combined, I've been doing it. So if I see a fighter throwing a hook, I don't tell them how to throw no punches. I just work on the mechanics. So I could say that with confidence. I'm not going to tell them how to throw. I don't have that IQ. I don't have none of that shit. I don't even know how to tie the gloves. You know what I'm saying? I stay in my lane, but my lane is all the technical stuff that fighters take for granted. And I consider, because I was that athlete who had to be very, very technical and jumping, running off the long jump board, driving the arm up, doing everything I need to do technically to get a good jump. And I actually believe I was in the wrong fucking sport. If I was a boxer, I'd have been world champion. Because you're not gonna beat me. Man to man, head up, and track and field, I struggled, bro, because I was like, I can't stop this motherfucker from running faster than me because he in his different lane.
Right.
You know, my mind used to be killing me. I'm like, I can't, like if Carl Lewis jumped 28 feet, I want to go do the same thing. But guess what? My aggression has to be controlled. So if I come down the runway like we all did, trying to whip him, we fuck up. We foul. You step over the board. So you have to learn how to harness that aggression to be real finesse, you know, as a finesse way, and relax and explode. And we don't get it. But in boxing, you lace some gloves up and you got to beat me. I should have been a boxer or a tennis player because you're not beating me. You're not doing it. So when I say all my life, I've been fighting and scrapping all my life, man. You know, even coming up in New Jersey, and you couldn't just walk around a neighborhood and not get into shit. It was a part of living. You know, if you got your ass whipped, you got it the next day and did it again until you won. So God knew that I had to be around this sport. I've always liked the sport, and my ideal with the Olympics would be going for track and field, right? Decades competing. Here I am, have Olympic boxers like Virginia. I'll be going to Tokyo, wherever we're gonna have it for fucking boxing. I'm thinking this wasn't my plan, you know. So I've been living as an athlete.
People plan, bro, but God is the best of planners. Look, you hit a nail on the head, Evans, and it's even more so why we fit together, because and Manny will tell you, you know, we get boxers come in the gym and they built like a brick shit house. They punch in the bag as hard as they can, and they all, I see them all doing this shit. They try to see if I'm looking, right? Because they want me to train them. And I tell, you know, anybody, well, all that don't make a fuck when it comes to fighting, because I learned as a kid, and to this day, I use the same prescription for everybody. Quentin probably could spit it verbatim. Certainly Robert Redmond could spit it verbatim. Danger, Manny. I say, if a kid has some drive and some character, I'll teach him how to fight. That's my job, is teaching him how to fight. What I can't do, right, is have an Evans Tobler and the coach says, your skills ain't met up yet. He wasn't saying you suck. In fact, he was saying, motherfucker, keep plugging because you're going to get it. Now, the drive will make a trainer see I'm not wasting my time. Now,
absolutely.
We getting some sparring and you get your ass kicked and I see you at the gym the next day. Now we got some character because he wants to be like you. This motherfucker beat me at the long jump. Fuck that. So you give me them two elements, I'm gonna teach you how to box, man. That shit, that's just what I know. But it's also why I wasn't never gonna be a professional fighter and never gonna succeed in that world because my fucking father told me when I was 12, son, it takes drive, character, and ability to be successful. Now you got character, you can take your ass whooping and you come back. I've given you some ability, but you don't really want to do this. You're boxing because that's what we do. You know, and the truth was, I think much like you, Allah had a better plan for me because he said, just because you wasn't going to be a professional prize fighter, you sure the fuck could pick out the right guys. Yeah. Regardless to the world seeing it, I don't give a fuck about the world. If the world knew, everybody could make champions, but they can't. So when you take a Quentin Randall, who was built just like me as a kid, he's long and stringy. Well, according to this Houston style of fighting, oh, he won't do shit. We don't do Houston style of fighting. In fact, we whoop it. So come on, I'm gonna show you what to do. And that kid had the drive and the character to accomplish everything he did. I'm just holding the remote at the right time. He's doing all the fucking fighting. So same thing with Robert Redmond. Robert Redmond came to me. I didn't build him, but he's a completely different fighter now. He'll sit there and go, damn, coach, I wish somebody, hey, it ain't my fault, motherfucker, you didn't walk in till when you walked in. But I seen this kid was gonna work, man, every fucking day. And then I seen he's going, man, I'm a professional, man. I'm an undefeated professional, man. When the fuck I'm gonna fight? You ain't gonna fight for me like this, so whatever. That takes character for a kid to keep coming, driving from fucking home every day to Katie and saying, all right, coach, you got the fucking joystick, man. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna hit this bag and shit. And that kid knows, and that's been proven with him. That kid knows I'm gonna protect him. That kid knows I'm not gonna lie to him. That kid knows if I say we shouldn't do this, the answer is no. If I say we should do this, we need to go do it. You got to build them type of relationships. But what your trainer said was exactly what my daddy said, who was born in 1923. So the shit ain't changed. From him, it's just different words. Your coach said walk, and walk is drive. I want to keep going. I want to keep going. Yeah, you motherfuckers say I suck. I came in fourth place, but fuck you and fuck everybody else. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah. You give me a guy with a 2-liter bottle of drive, and he got a little bit of character. Nothing across the ring confuses me, Evan. You know that. You know that. None of that shit confuses me. This is what he's doing. This is what we need to be doing. Now go do it. That's just what it is, man. So you took what you had in track and field, taking that to boxing. One thing I never thought of, that track and field guy. That kind of amazes me because I understand what you're saying. Fist fighting is all track and field, but just all rolled into one. Just all rolled into one. So track and field is a complete athlete. So you need to be a complete athlete in this game. And hopefully you got a guy holding the towel in the corner, knows what the fuck he's doing. So you ain't winning off being tough, right? That's what you need to do. But yeah, bro. We did it all on purpose, man.
Another thing that I see that you guys do a lot which I really like, is the swimming. You guys do a lot of swimming, huh? I've always
Oh, yeah.
I've
See?
always said that boxing is probably the best workout regimen that you can have. Second only, maybe, to swimming, because with swimming, you're working out muscles that you didn't even know you had.
Mm-hmm. Well, what you just said is, listen, they like this. Boxing and swimming is like a fucking chain. Because guess what? You're doing the same thing. You got to move your arms. You got to move your legs. You got to breathe. If you don't fucking breathe, you're gonna drown.
Same thing
So
in boxing.
I got all kinds of techniques and stuff that I use in my fighters in the water. They think I'm crazy.
Hey,
But
but you
when you
got
come out of the water, it's
you're
crazy.
working. You ain't working with just any old body, like you mentioned. You're working with Regis. You work with Anna Gabriel, Jenny Finch, Michaela. I mean, you're working with Q. And the list goes on and on, even with the rest of the U.S. Olympic team. How did that opportunity come to happen?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I listen. Everything coach always remind me. I mean, I think a lot of times, like I said, this wasn't my plan. This is God's plan, right? And when you do what you're supposed to do, and when you're in your lane, I truly believe I'm in my lane, because I've turned down many of college coaching jobs for track and field, right? All my friends are college track coaches, and the opportunities I have in boxing is because I'm still in my lane. To get the opportunity to work with these Olympians came through working with athletes like Jenny. She was U.S. 5-time USA champion. She's made 2 Olympic teams, and then she connected with Coach K, and her and Michaela are best friends. So Coach K was like, I like the work you're doing with Jenny. And then all of a sudden, they started feeding me athletes. Man, I got these kids I just worked with. All those kids are potential world champions. And guess what? They have work ethic. And I was like, it's been a while since I've seen a bunch of kids in one place with the same drive. And I'm just in my lane. I'm gonna continue to stay in my lane. I'm gonna tell you something else. The opportunity with Jared Hurd is night, and when we won July 22nd, 2019. I remember the date. We were going to Louisiana for Regis to win the WBA title, and Jared Hurd just lost to J Rock. I didn't know. I know who he was as a fighter, so I knew the kid was talented, right? I went to his DM and I said, "Hey, champ, you can come back from this loss." I said, "The great champions lose, but the deal is, how are you going to come back? Do you have anything in you to get those belts back?" I said, "I don't know you from Adam, but I believe that if you put your foot down, you can get this back." I said, "If there's any way I can help you, you let me know." Without me stepping on any toes, I had to say what I had to say to the kid, right? I left him a DM, left it alone, went to Louisiana, reached the won a world title. This year, like back in December, October, right? I get a call I get a text from Coach K saying, "Hey man, you got time for Jared Hurd?" I said, "Yeah, I got time for Jared Hurd." Who wouldn't have no time for Jared Hurd, right? So, and I forgot this bro, my hair stand up on my hand when I think about this shit. So the first day he brought him to the gym, I said, we talked and everything, got him outside. I said, let me get your Instagram thing, right? I forgot about the fucking DM I sent this kid last year. It had the same as I said, champ, look at this. I said, did you? He said, I never saw that.
Wow.
I had no way of getting in touch person to person with their word to even say anything, even congratulations. My uplifting was to say, hey man, go get your shit back. Because you can do it. I said, bro, I said, this is some bro, black man. I got nervous. I started fucking sweating. I was like, oh, this is some crazy shit. And I was like, 2021 is going to be a year of connecting and elevating. Come on, man. That's people don't believe. They won't believe I said. You can look at the message. I showed it to them. I said, bro, this is me. That was me sending you that text message, that DM message.
That was just confirmation. That was just confirmation.
I'm in my lane, man. I'm gonna stay in this lane until God says, hey, it's time to go.
Hey, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. How strength and conditioning, right? And I'll say it, and Coach, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but even Derek has come around to strength and conditioning if it makes sense, if it's right. But how would you, and I don't want to use the word, but for the lack of a better word, how do you sell strength and conditioning to boxers and coaches who might say, well, we don't need a strength and conditioning guy? Why is it important? Like I said, even like, Coach D has really come around. And I've known Coach for what, maybe 4, 5, 6 years, and strength and conditioning is something that he's come around to here recently. Is that a fair statement?
Before Evans answer, because I want to hear his answer too. Here's what it is, man. Boxing, from coaches being skeptical.
And I'm a big strength and conditioning guy. I believe in it.
Boxing, as long as boxing's been around, there's been hangers-on, parasites, hustlers, common fucking thieves, right? And they all find a way to get next to the champ, your guy, right? They all find a way. It could be friends, it could be family members, it could be everything. But the strength and conditioning coach thing, man, the first time I even heard that shit had to be in the mid-90s when Evander was coming up to heavyweight. He was trying to, right there in 90, 91, he was trying to come up, but he's small. So you ain't got a strength conditioning coach. Now, just by being in the sport, right, and owning gyms and shit, you see these guys come and go. They got the secret. More times than not, they lie about their background. They have nothing to add, or they start giving you fighters some fucking supplements, right? And now, perfect example. Everybody knows Buddy McGirt, 2-time champion, great trainer, Hall of Famer. And Kovalev just failed to fucking, he had a synthetic testosterone in him. Now, I don't know shit about steroids, but I know it's illegal. So now, Buddy McGirt probably didn't know shit about that. His strength conditioning guy was giving it to him or somebody, or he was taking it on his own because he knows. But now as the trainer, I got to sit back and motherfuckers start saying, Buddy, how is your fighter testing positive for steroids? And you got to go, I didn't know. You didn't know? Well, what kind of fucking trainer are you? So, I say that to say this. Those guys are so plentiful and so at every gym, every fighter that gets any kind of success. They never there at the beginning. They come when the success is there. Now, I first came to strength conditioning, understand, I said, you know what? If my fighter thinks that guy is making him stronger and better, and I'm not seeing no problems in the ring, it ain't crossing over to the ring, he's able to perform the way I need him to perform, well, guess what? Even if it's just mental, great, right? Great, I don't give a fuck, go do it. Now, meeting guys like Evans, and I ain't gonna toot your horn, bro, but because because you are training my son right now, but I ain't gonna teach you home. This is the thing. Meeting Evans, talking sports, a telltale sign to a good strength condition guy is this. How you doing, man? What's up, coach? Listen, I'm not a boxing trainer. I ain't saying shit about it because they know that just causes a problem. That's like sticking a spoke in the fucking wheel. But, coach, we need to communicate. Look, I see this in your fighter. He needs to do this and that, and then you start seeing the results. Now, it ain't hard for me to ask the world champion who's in my gym because we training his son and shit, and he works out a little bit. It ain't hard for me to say, and it helps that he's from New Orleans, so we speak the same shit. I said, say, bro, tell me about Evans, man. Oh, coach, this motherfucker here, bro. He got me straight, man. This dude, and starts telling me how the pivotal role you play, right? Then I know his head coach for 20 years. I know how long he was born into boxing, like a lot like me. So I check everybody out, man. But I check everybody out with the people I know. I know they gonna tell me, man, that's a bad guy or that's a good guy. So when he says that, I'm like, well, shit. If he got him on the world champ, we trying to get a world championship. Let's go. That's the skepticism from trainers, bro. They don't know who's gonna come in and start fucking with their fighter. Start giving them false shit, false, training. And what I like to say is busy work. I hate busy work. You got shit to do. If you got to get stronger or you need to get better as a fighter, there is no such thing as busy work. You can throw that jab a million more times. You got shit to do. And that's where that skepticism comes in, man. So Quentin's whole national team experience taught me, well, they do strength conditioning, and I am seeing my kid get stronger. I am seeing my kid perform even more. So let's go with it. That's why it's too many phonies, bro. It's too many phonies. But go ahead, Evan.
But yeah, but
There's a lot of see when I know that there's only a couple of sports that I can relate. Damn, I got distracted. Hold on. There's only a couple of sports that I call ball checking, right? We got, people don't talk about it. We got, number one, we got soccer, right? We got water polo. And we got fucking boxing. And we got track and field. And then we have wrestling. And then we have gymnastics. Okay? So when I think of conditioning a fighter has, the conditioning of a fighter has to be, he has the stamina of a Greco wrestler, right? He also has to have the kind of footwork and aggression of a wing player and defender on a soccer team, okay?
yeah, the motherfucker that beat me.
He has to be strong as a gymnast. Strong as a gymnast, right? And he has to be explosive enough like a sprinter, right?
All of it.
And when you make a program for a boxer, you gotta factor in all that shit, and then you gotta factor in the mental capacity, right? So what I'll do, and when I think of a boxer and what he has to do, what she has to do, throwing punches in my mind is like sprinting, right? When I was sprinting and I jumped, I trained to jump 6 times, right? 6 aggressive times, control aggression. I had to do that 6 times. And my preparing for the jump, I never got tired. And maybe a year and a half ago, I was working with Dominic Gwynn, heavyweight fighter. We got Dominic back in shape from 260 something down to like 230 something to fight Junior 5. They said, "Oh, Junior 5." I said, "Dominic Gwynn, is going to knock this motherfucker out. Right? So, and I called the fight. I told Lou DiBella to his face and said, you don't give my boy a chance, right? I said, he had the best shape of his life. I said, gonna knock this bitch out in 4 rounds. Round 4, when we got to the weigh-in, Junior 5, they only had tapes of Dominic old fights. We had the first fight on the television card, right? We walk in, I said, we're gonna keep Dominic in the middle. When we get to the scale, we gonna unveil that shit. They called Dominic to the scale. He took off his shit, 232 pounds. Junior 5, 260 pounds. They swung the fucking fight, took us off of television, put us after the main event where nobody could see it. Because they didn't know what was going to happen. They had never seen Dominic win in this type of shape, right? So in the fight, Dominic knocks this motherfucker across the ring with a short left hook, his favorite punch. And I was like, it's fucking over. It's over. I called the fight. What happened was Dominic started punching, trying to take him out. And he punched himself out. And I was like, I can't, this is, how did he do that? He's in the best shape of his life. How did he do that? I don't get it. And it fucked me up for a long time. And I said, I know what it was. I said, I have to take a fighter and train his arms like I train a sprinter. So I said, how am I going to work this into my program with the coaches? So I said, I talked to Regis and Bobby. I said, listen, I just need 1 day. 1 day of bag work. I'm not telling him how to throw combinations. I'm not doing any of that shit. I want him to punch the bag as long as he can, for as long as if you got to fight and you got to fight 36 minutes, I want you to hit the fucking bag for 36 minutes. 1 day a week. Right? So when I thought about that and then everything else that goes along, I said, that's where the conditioning comes in. And there is a lot of fighters right now that think they're in condition, but they can still punch themselves out. And it really fucked my head up because I was thinking, I can't believe, I know I kicked his ass and I know but there's 2 separate sides. So that's when we got to communicate as coaches, right? Because I got a job to do, but I don't want to go over what I'm supposed to do. So if you've done bag work with them and I had bag work, I'm not going to do no bag work maybe the next time. So I think, like you said, a lot of coaches are skeptical, but the fight is more than just punching, right? You got the legs involved, you got to breathe. So even at the pool, I add some type of breathing technique. And even when I think of swimming, when I think of wrestling, you got to be able to pick a motherfucker up and slam him for 30 minutes. And then you got to pick your hands up, and then you got to punch. And then you got to move around the ring. Right? So the conditioning and the boxing, they collide. They got to collide.
I've always been a fan of strength and conditioning, and I think it's just from a different perspective because, we've seen that.
Let me say one more thing.
Go ahead.
But the conditioning has to be related to the sport of boxing.
No, absolutely.
They got to, because if I take a kid and I make him doing 10 minutes of ball slam, I got to make that motherfucker move his hands.
Yeah. You
got to relate the two because you're gonna piss the coaches off, and they're gonna like, that's not boxing. Everything I do is boxing.
Now, and it goes with what you're saying as far as the strength and conditioning, staying in that strength and conditioning lane. Like, what's the guy? The Seattle Seahawks quarterback. I forget his name.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, we talked about that article last year where he spends like $3 million a year. $3 million a year on his strength and conditioning, right? And to me, I think it's critical because if you're investing in yourself, you are your own. You're your biggest tool. You're your biggest resource. Yeah. And if you're not taking care of your body and maintaining it, to me, it's no strength and conditioning. And I could be wrong, but this is how I look at it. It's like you have your vehicle, you're using it every day, and it serves a purpose, and you're getting something out of it. But you got to go get the air change. You got to go get the oil change. You got to get the tires right. You got to maintain it. And to me, that's how I see strength and conditioning. You have boxing, which is a particular sport with a particular set of skills that you have to have and train for. The jab, the footwork, the head movement, all those things, but your muscles and your body have to be conditioned and straight for that. And and you know, and coach says it, you know, well, you know, he used to say it, or you know, yeah, you can work all those muscles out by actually, you know, throwing the punch and working on that. But in my opinion, it's that elevated. It's that strength and conditioning is that elevated training that's going to help you be successful in any particular sport. In our instance, boxing. You know, like, you know, I have to, you know, I'm in the gym 5 days a week, and I'm working. Whether I'm doing it right or I'm doing it wrong, I'm putting my body through shit. So I go get a massage once, twice a month to make sure that, you know, my body, you know, muscles are relaxed, you know, they're taken care of. And so I've always been a big fan, and I'm glad that door or that avenue is opening up more to athletes, and that you have people like yourself who have proven results, who have a passion for it, understand the importance of having that dynamic relationship with the boxing coach, because, you know, you're right, you don't want to step on toes, you don't want to, and what you really don't want to do is have two great coaches who really do care about a boxer that end up doing harm because of that communication and lack of teamwork. So it's good that attitude is there, because it's only going to ensure success for the boxer and the team overall.
Without saying names, how many? Just a number. How many local strength and conditioning coaches would you say are elite or know what they're doing?
It's a good question.
Right. No. I didn't know what the fuck you was about to say. Okay. But I know.
I would say besides myself, in my opinion, one.
All right, freeze.
Maybe two.
We didn't say no names. We don't know no motherfucking. It don't matter who you know or whatever, right? And that's the fucking problem. Look, somebody, I ain't gonna say no names. I caught a gun charge the other day, right? Youngster. He gets spooked. He gets out. He says, "Coach, I need to go get a lawyer." I say, "Go get a lawyer for what?" Man, I got, you know, I ain't trying to tell. I said, "Well, you ain't even get your fucking doctor yet. You don't even know who the fucking judge is. Wait to get the judge. Go down there, see what lawyers could approach the bench, see who's laughing and giggling with the fucking judge, then go get your lawyer." It's the same fucking thing, man. I'm gonna say, who's your strength conditioning trainer? Oh, okay. What else he did? You know, it's the same shit. Oh, okay. So he could get results. That lawyer could get results. You run out there and go get you a fucking lawyer. He charged you 10 grand. You don't pay 7,500. He ain't answering the phone no more. And sending the fucking clerk. He's sending the clerk to the court dates to get a extension. I'm saying more boxing trainers, more strength conditioning coaches, or that motherfucking lawyer in the school book. They not the ones who get close to this. That's all I'm saying. So when you act like that, I don't know what the fuck you was doing. Ask me how many strength conditioning trainers I know. I don't think I know them. So I would say one. So the man just said two. Man, Houston is big as fuck. You know how many boxing gyms there is in Houston? You know how many people sitting there with a fucking towel and a water bottle? I'm a coach. I'm sure it's the same thing with the strength conditioning coach. Meet me at the park. I got some rubber bands, and we're gonna put this umbrella on you, and you're gonna pick off running. And that's condition. Man, that's the problem with this shit. But here's also the problem. Here's also the problem. Guys don't say that. But see, I'm really a trainer, really box, really come from a boxing family, and I don't give a fuck about hurting your feelings if I say you ain't shit. You ain't shit, man. You ain't hurt, man. That's and more trainers need to say that, man. But they don't because they don't step on their toes. But my thing is this, and I always say it. Go to the fucking gym, man. You want to be a boxing trainer? Go to the fucking gym. Shut the fuck up and tell the coach, man, I box, I love boxing. Maybe you got a son, maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to give the gym some time. Every trainer in the world needs help. Yeah, man, you can take these kids and go run them. Go learn your paces. Go learn to be a trainer. It's the same thing with these fighters, I tell them. These fighters come or they DM me like you did with Jared Hurd. They'll DM coach. If you was my trainer, man, my trainer ain't shit. If you was, I said, man, are you sure your trainer ain't shit? Are you sure? Because you asking me to give you 10 years of my fucking life, man, when you ask me to train you. And you tripping about how far the gym is, like how much money it costs and all that. But you asking me for 10 years of my fucking life, man. It ain't gonna work out. So don't even come over here. Right. That's what it is, man. And most straight conditioning guys go, listen, man. I trained Regis Prograde to a world title. I trained Jared Hurd, Jimmy Fuse. I'm training McKay, whoever it is. You ain't shit. That guy ain't shit. What he's doing? Over there, man. If X. I ain't talking about you protect people. I'm talking about when you ask. Man, what you think about so-and-so? So-and-so ain't shit, man. That's, he's gonna get that kid hurt. Hey, when that black kid from England was fighting Kovalev, I didn't know who he was from a man in the moon. But they stuck a microphone in his face and said, what you doing to prepare for Kovalev? He was a little older or whatever. He said, me and my trainer hit mitts, we don't spar. We hit mitts. I said, well, this dumb motherfucker about to get beat up. He don't even know. He don't even know about getting pushed and pulled and shit, man. I beat your ass up without pushing. Without punching, I know how to beat your ass up and rub your ass up. And you finna fight this bad killing motherfucker? This is who was the killer at one time. And guess what? He got his ass whooped, and he just got his ass whooped recently. Now he's saying, man, I might need to make a change. Yeah, you need to make a change, motherfucker, because you just wasted a fucking 5, 6, 10 years with a motherfucker who was playing coach. He was playing coach.
Playing coach.
You was winning because you. So you have the one. He has the one. He got the skills, motherfucker ain't got the skills. And he's winning, so now he needs a coach. Yeah, you need a coach, you dumb motherfucker. And anybody who was around you that loved you should have been saying,
they won't.
Hey, man, I know you like this dude. Keep him around. Let him shake the milkshakes. Let him wash the towels. But we need to go get this fucking guy that's gonna train us because the world time. Now, you done had all these fights. You done stepped up twice and got your ass whooped. So what's the answer? The answer is you went far as shit without no fucking training. Now go get you a trainer. Might be salvage stuff. Right or wrong?
That's real.
Hey, Evans, someone's watching this, right? And they're like, man, I really need to get a strength and conditioning coach. What is it that you look for, or what's the difference between someone who you look at and say, okay, I know I know this person has what it takes and they're willing to do the work versus someone who's just going to end up wasting your time is the first part of the question. And then the second part of the question is, how do you do a personal assessment with each client? How does that work? How does that process work? What do you look for in a
I'm gonna tell
client?
you,
And
that's a
how
good
does that
question,
work out?
because it only takes me 25 to 30 minutes to evaluate. Because this is what I said, and I mean this shit from the bottom of my shoes, that I will not deal with an athlete who's going to play boxing. We have more than five athletes lose their life, right? And some had nothing to do with preparing, but it has something to do with rehydration, not knowing enough, and not willing to reach out and do this shit the right way, right? And when I say rehydration, that means that athlete was not professional enough to do what he had to do to make weight. So guess what? There's these old remedies that they use in boxing that could take your life. So that means if you prepare yourself, you don't have to go through that strenuation, all that stuff, right? So when a fighter comes to me and says, "Coach, I want you to help me," and guess what? I was like, "Okay, meet me at the gym. Meet me at the gym. Just bring some water. You want some Gatorade? Bring some Gatorade. I only need 30 minutes of your time. And look, I got a 20-pound medicine ball, right? I got a 10-pound med ball, 15 pounds. So at test, I said, well, let me give him a 10-pound med ball. And I give him the correct way to do it. I said, well, give me some. I said, how many have you been fighting before? Well, what's the problem? I've been 8 rounds, 10 rounds. Okay. So how many, what's that, 3, 6, 9? That's about 25 minutes, right? So I give him the med ball, tell him what to do, and I say, go. I just sit. They slamming the med ball, I'm doing this.
That's my jump rope thing.
Oh, we 5 minutes away. We got 20 minutes to go on my head. They look at me, keep on going. Keep going. And when if they make it to 25 minutes, I give them some dumbbells and make them punch. Another 25 minutes. If they make it. If they get close, if they don't stop, then I'll work with them. I test the will. I am truly trying to break the will, because in fighting, in boxing, you got to have the will, because you're gonna get fucking hit. And what you gonna do? You gonna tuck your balls and run, or you gonna get up when the fight is in round 5, because the fight don't start until round 5. What you got left? So what I do, I empty the tank. And if they can go after that, I work with them. Most guys, I empty the tank, and I'm like, I may not be the guy for you. They say, oh, coach, you be doing all that crazy shit. I said, okay, then you and me may not work, because I don't need a corner. Give me a corner. Give me a space. Give me a 3-pound dumbbell. Give me a 5-pound weight ball, and I'll find out if he's ready or not. I'll make a punch for 20 minutes. The goal is, my thing is, if I can get to the point where your will is broken and you want to go again, I work with you.
That's where you want to be.
That's my evaluation. If they do it, hey, I don't care if he got that much talent, but he gave me 20 minutes sweating, and I knew he was about to throw up. If he kept going, I got a treadmill workout that'll make you cry. And I put a kid on a treadmill. I put that motherfucker at 6.6 miles an hour. He run for 30 seconds. I make him go for a minute. He hit a minute. I take it.
Lost your connection, bro. You took your headphones off. You can hear?
Yeah, now I can. I don't know what happened.
Hey, think of this. My version of that is the jump rope, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And it ain't but one kid I didn't give that to since you know me. And we took him on. And he used to fucking duck out on the bag jumps and shit. And look what happened. He's fucking gone. He's fucking gone now. He took off. I didn't run him off. He took off. No, nothing. No, I ain't saying shit. And so Rob was saying, Coach, I think that was a money thing. I said, no, it was a character thing, bro. And it wasn't tested. Only people lacking character do shit like that. But I was telling Evans, I was telling Fred, I said, my version of what you talking about, when the guys come in, I hand them a jumping rope and walk off. I don't tell them stop, right? And I'll leave them there an hour, man, until they fucking calf seizes up and fall down. I done did that before. The minute they stop, walk over and say, how many rounds? I didn't take fucking rounds, man. And I said, there was one kid since we've been in this gym that I didn't do that to because he came to me through somebody and they wanted me to train him, right? And so as a favor, I said, all right, but I didn't do that. Every day on my circuits, I got these bag jumps. They got to hop over, got a heavy bag laying on the ground.
That is a motherfucker too, boy.
And they just hop over. You can't stop. You got to jump. It's the closest thing. For me, it's the closest thing you can do to your body to sparring without sparring is these bag jumps, right? Every time on circuit, big motherfucker trying to duck out and, I gotta go and all that shit. I said, man, this dude got a faulty character, man. I don't know. We gonna see how this goes. It lasted about 6 months, Evan. No show, no here, blocked on social media, everything. And I said, I went against my own motherfucking mathematics. You know what I'm saying? I went against my own shit, trying to help somebody, but I'm not helping you if you ain't got no fucking guts, man. If you ain't got the work, you gonna go out here and get embarrassed and hurt. And still ain't talk to him. I don't know what the fuck happened. He ain't never say, Coach, man, you made me mad, or Coach this, or my mama sick. Nothing. Just disappeared. I said, well, that show you right there. He wasn't built for this life. This life, man.
People tend to weed themselves out, and you know, everyone has their litmus test. You have the jump rope. Everyone's got the
medicine ball.
The medicine ball. And you know, Regis was in the gym the other day, and I shared this with you as well. And he said something to me that really, you know, opened my eyes just a little bit as far as boxing. And he had said, you know, boxing's all about just lasting, you know, outlasting everyone. And you know, I have you know, another business, and that's something that I've always said in a different wording. As far as for me, it's about the long game and, you know, outlasting everyone. But in boxing, that's true, right? It is about outlasting everyone. It's about showing up every day and showing up one day more than everyone else. Doing that exercise one more time than everyone else, and just being there. And eventually, people are going to weed themselves out, and only the ones who really want to do this, who have what it takes to compete at a championship level, are going to be the ones that are there to be standing.
That Marvin Hagler, man. Marvin Hagler, he was middleweight champion of the world, I think about 7 years. But Marvin Hagler, Marvin Hagler used to run in them combat boots and jackets and shit in the snow. And they used to be like, man, Marvin, what the fuck you doing, man? You know, he's a millionaire. You can go wherever and train. And he said, those motherfuckers ain't doing it. That's what I'm doing. And I'm mad. I'm out here in the fucking snow in combat boots. I said, yeah, that's a bad motherfucker right there. There's a famous video of him when he was getting ready for time, which broke my heart. But he running in that fucking snow, and somebody went out there and put a camera in his face, and champ, he just looked at it and said, whoa. I said, oh shit, this motherfucker don't give a damn. He don't give a fuck who's in that other corner, bro. But same thing.
You know, and then you probably see this a lot as well. The real successful people, the ones that reach those heights are the ones that love the process. The ones that love the process more than they love the goal they're trying to achieve. That fall in love with the pain, that fall in love with the grind, with coming in every day and waking up in the morning, early in the morning. Next time I see Regis, didn't that motherfucker just jump into the lake behind his house the other day and went swimming in the middle of January? You have to love that shit. You have to love putting your body, the mental aspect of it, the physical aspect of challenging yourself.
Come out and in, Evan. Come out and in again if you can't hit.
Okay,
you
now I
hear
hear you.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
I hear you.
I don't know, do the elites or the champions love the process more than they know it's necessary. They know this is what I did in order to get this. And so, like, for instance, Quentin hates that fucking swimming. He hates all kind of shit. But guess what? Don't swim his ass in a week or two. He's gonna say, Coach, I need to hit the fucking pool. You know why? Because he knows to perform under the lights. I swam last time. I need to swim this time, and I hate that fucking pool. Everybody hates the fucking ice bath. Nobody enjoys that process of the ice bath, man. But guess what? Motherfuckers know whatever mystical mathematical shit, and Evans may know the fucking formula. Dunking your ass in that ice brings your shit back to life, and you're not as sore, you're not as much. So whereas I think other people, and it's fine with saying love the process, but other people can't get past the process. Yeah. Is why they can't get to the championship. They're not driven to do that. They'll do everything except them bag jumps. They'll do everything except that ice bath. Well, guess what? You're not gonna make it, buddy, cause your talent is exceeding your want. Your want needs to be there, and that's what I say. Them motherfuckers, Larry Bird, and I forget the number it was, man. Larry Bird said, man, he shoots like something like a couple thousand set shots a day. Every day is fucking life. Every day is fucking life. You don't think Larry Bird was a millionaire and wanted to say, fuck this basketball to I don't know if he listened to country, western, or rock and roll, whatever it is. We can get floor seats to the whatever. That motherfucker sat there and shot that fucking set shot. Matter of fact, I can't do nothing else until I do these X amount of numbers of set shots. That's why I'm a world champion. And that's why and to the fresh point, I feel like I watched Regis through the amateurs. I didn't know him, but I watched him at all the shows. When he started being successful as a professional, and we finally had another chance since 1968, since we had a fucking world champion out of New Orleans, right? So when this kid starts climbing, I don't give a fuck if I know him or not. I'm in that motherfucker's corner like the Saints. Let's go, man. We got to go. But when he becomes a world champion, You can't tell me shit because we back now. We back. And like Regis said, man, they wasn't a champion out of New Orleans since I said, yeah, Willie was strong. I know, motherfucker, I've been waiting for you for all my fucking life. I've been waiting for your ass to come on and do this shit. And looking at him, like you said, that kid is fucking driven, man. It's about now. He can fight, without a doubt. And it ain't like you gonna become world champion, you can't fight. Matter of fact,
I believe that there is
God damn, the motherfucker about to say some shit too. I want to hear.
We're off.
Part of it. So they enjoy. I believe there's some athletes like, let's just say guys like Denzel Washington. You could tell he loves what he's doing.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, every role he plays, he does it to the T. He does it to the T. And when I work at boxing, when I work
damn, he cut out bad, man. Shit.
I say, okay, in a fight.
I can't hear nothing, Evans. Nothing.
You hear me now?
Maybe go out and come in, bro. You froze up and I can't hear you.
This is what Coach Hyman. This is Coach Hyman's
yeah, he must not be tuned in.
This segment is brought to you by Coach Hyman Martinez. The Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Shout out to Coach Hyman. We know you'll be watching this later on. This is for you, my man.
I think once it practice, I would to do it. So there's some athletes that have to do it. Guys like Regis, guys like Hurd, guys Jenny, all of and even get know that good enjoyment, you know.
Well, I think what you're saying is some of them love the process, and that's I'm sure.
Do like that.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, man. But the process is definitely necessary, regardless. If you like it, don't like it, whatever, it's necessary.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, you have the process. The process is the road that you have to travel, and that's sometimes you got to walk through fire. Sometimes you got to fucking swim through the ocean. Sometimes it's got to be through the freezing cold. But what I'm saying is sometimes you're gonna find somebody special that's gonna run through the fire, that's gonna go through the cold, swim through the ocean, look back and say, "Shit, I want to do that again."
Well,
do it again. And those are the ones I think really hit. And you just shared the story of Hagler, right? Running with the boots. Same thing with Mayweather. I mean, how many stories have we heard of Floyd Mayweather where he'd be in the lift and his alligator shoes, and they just open the door and get outrun in his dress shoes, or in stories like Regis jumping in the lake and just going for a swim. The process is an absolute part of it, and you have to go through it. And yeah, there's those that look at the process and say, okay, this is a necessary evil, and then there's some that just like, man, fuck this. This is what I'm here for. This is what I love. And I believe that you can fall in love with the process. You'll have those questions sometimes. You'll have questions like an entrepreneur. Is an entrepreneur born, or is it something that you can learn? Falling in love with the process is something something that you can learn, and it should always be a goal. Forget about the pain, forget about the hurt, forget about the doubt and the fear in your head, and fall in love. And you say this shit all the time. Fall in love with being uncomfortable. That's where you want to be. Whether it's training, whether it's relationship, whether it's within business. When you get to that point where, oh man, this ain't shit. So when you get under the lights, all you're doing is performing.
Yeah. That's why guys like Ruiz and shit was so disappointing, because as good fighter as he is, and then you shock the fucking world, and then you eat yourself out of the fucking title, man. You knew what it took to get there. You knew how hard it was to get to that, regardless if you thought the fight was easy, because it wasn't. You got up on the deck against this big fucking marble statue, and you had to fucking outfight him, and then you go shit the bed, bro, in the rematch. It's so shitty, man, that you know what the fuck you had to do to get here, man. And that separates. Hey, it separates good from great, I think, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
Like, you're gonna have to face shit in this. You're gonna have to face shit in this game, and I see it on every level: amateur, professional. That's what I mean about guys asking you to give them 10 years of your fucking life, because he doesn't realize there's gonna be weeks where nothing goes right. You getting your ass whooped. You don't want to meet Evans at the fucking gym for the fucking ice bath, or in the fucking in medicine ball workout. You're coming to the gym getting your ass whooped because you're off the street. Man, if you're not built for that shit, you gonna find out and you gonna get the fuck. But if I done gave you 3 years of my fucking life and you just walk the fuck off because coach, my gal's pregnant, I need to go work for the railroad and shit. Hey, little motherfucker, I'm taking time from my son's fucking games or whatever I'm doing too for to do the shit. So you need to get the fuck. And only experience in the game teaches you that. So when you come in here and you're built like a Greek god, you can hit the bag fast, and you show me your pity-pat mitten routine on Instagram, none of that shit matters, man. None of that shit matters, bro. Till that flame starts hitting you in your ass, man. What you gonna do then? Because that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
In that ring, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, well, gentlemen, listen, we can keep going all day on this.
All that pretty shit.
I got my girls over here knocking on the door. I know everyone has to get back to their afternoon. Man, Evans, it was a great pleasure having you on the show today. And we want to get you back on, man. We want to spend some more time with you, get to talk to you a little bit more and spend some time with you. But for those that are watching, how can they get a hold of you? On Instagram, Facebook?
At Instagram at Fitness by Tobler.
And we'll make sure we'll put it on the link as well.
Ready. If you ain't ready, don't come this way. I got the smoke for you, baby.
Yeah, you hold now tryouts to see if they can they're gonna fit the program. All right, well, what else, man? That's it. Everyone, again, I just want to take a quick moment to thank everyone for their continued support.
That's it, man. I appreciate you guys for having me on the show, man. And I'd love to come back on and do something else.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you back on it.
We're gonna do it
about Deontay Wilder.
Oh man, that's my favorite subject.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother.
We want to thank y'all. We want to thank y'all once again for all the love and support that you guys been giving us. Make sure that you like, subscribe our YouTube channel, and that's a wrap, man. We'll catch up with y'all next week. It's your boy Fresh.
I'm out.
All right, peace.
Peace.